This is part 2 of the tutorial. If you've missed part 1, there's a link to it in the description. For this version of the Garnet cube, you'll need to print out the pattern. I'll link to it in the description below. First, I cut out a piece of cutaway stabilizer to sit on the back of my fabric. I then use regular glue sticks to stick the stabilizer to the fabric. Use the pattern to cut out the face, and we want to cut it to exact size. Using the hair template for placement, glue the raspberry piece to the black minky. Using the glasses template, cut out a piece of platinum minky. Use the glue to attach this to the raspberry. It's a good idea to wait until all the glue pieces have dried before beginning to sew. Place a piece of water-soluble top stabilizer over the top of the face. We do this so that the minky fur doesn't stick up through the stitching. For the first part of the sewing, we want to do a simple running stitch all the way around the edge of the face and the bottom of the glasses. This helps to hold the fabric in place. Next, we want to create the satin stitch for our applique. To do this, we're going to have to use the zigzag stitch. We want to shorten the stitch length to create a wide but compact zigzag. I used a 0.8 stitch length and a 3mm width. Different machines will have different settings, so I recommend testing on a scrap piece of fabric before you sew your garnet face. With this zigzag, stitch around the outline of Garnet's glasses and face. I definitely recommend sewing with an open toe foot, This way you can see exactly where you're sewing. It's not hindered by the foot. To create the detail for Garnet's nose and mouth, pin the template paper over her face. Using a straight stitch, stitch over the lines in the paper. Cut away the threads and rip off the paper. We now have our template for where the satin stitching needs to go. Use the same width zigzag stitch as before and sew over the lines. I recommend sewing with the needle in the down position, and every few stitches slightly rotate your fabric. It can be difficult to sew neat satin stitching on small curves. You definitely get better with practice, but even mine didn't turn out perfectly. When the stitching is complete, cut away all the threads and tear off the stabilizer. Click the link to go to the third part of this tutorial where we sew Garnet together.